Okay, so this is a din Torah that actually happened somewhere within the past 10 or 15 years. It's connected to the sugya of learning in Masechta Baba Kama. What? Yeah. So it's a din Torah. Now, the story, the way it's described over here in the first paragraph, is adult hit a child in the name of chinuch. What does the halacha say? We're going to go through the sugya, the shaynim, and achreinim, and it's an actual case that happened. So when the Beis Din reported their din Torah, which by the way I have over here the paperwork of the actual din Torah, what they wrote up. This obviously the slide is just a summary of what's happening over here. So the Beis Din opens by saying we are not here to say the exact details of what happened. We are just discussing the halachic shilas about what happened and if there's an obligation to pay or not, as if it's meaning the cases, the details of the case. The Beis Din say it's not relevant. However, when you go through their papers, you come up with what actually happened. Now here AI made a summary, but they missed a couple of points that human intelligence was able to figure out better than them. What happened was like this. There was a community where there was an issue of violence. People were hitting each other. Children were bullying each other, hitting each other all the time. And the members of the community felt this is getting out of hand. Someone has to make a stop to this. And it was a kind of unspoken agreement that something has to be done, to the point of using violence against violence and putting these younger kids in place. And if someone sees a fight going on, you see someone bullying, mix in and bully the bully. That was basically an unspoken agreement. And what ended up happening was there was a kid that was bullying another kid that might have hit him a few times. And then the bully's cousin came to town. These are stories that are very similar. Happens today all the time, these kind of things. The bully's cousin comes to town, and the bully tells his cousin, hey, you know that kid? He's a wimp. You got to beat him up. So now the bully's cousin is here for Shabbos, and the kids are, Shabbos and shul, upstairs, downstairs, whatever it is. And the bully's cousin is speaking to the wimp, and he's telling him, I'm going to beat you up, whatever. Like, I don't care. I'm only here for Shabbos. I'm going to beat you up or whatever. And the Nebach, the kid that's being threatened to be beaten up, is afraid. And then there's a machlekes what happens. They don't point this out, but there's a machlekes what happens. According to one opinion, meaning the child, the guy that was bullied claims that he actually hit him. He threatened me. This is when the past 10, 15 years. It could have happened this past Shabbos also. This happens all the time, unfortunately. This is the reality of life. But this is an actual case. So he claims that not only did he threaten me, he actually hit me as well. However, the bully claims, the bully and his cousin and the bully's parents, and they claim that he threatened he's going to hit, but he didn't actually hit him. Lepoil, either way, whether he hit him or not, a few hours later, the kid that got bullied, his father, who happens to be a mechanech, I don't know if he's a teacher, or a shishiva, a mashpia, a rav, some kind of important person in the community. He heard his son was beaten, because that's what his son told him. And he's upset about what's happening in the community because this bully and his cousins are violent. So he goes over to this kid that allegedly hit his son, and he gives him a good zetz. The cousin, the one that was the actual officially hit him. He gave him a good zetz. Whether it was a slap or a punch, it's unclear. However, he was hoping to give a regular zetz. He gives someone a slap. What happens? He gets a slap. This kid, this bully, happened to have had in the past some kind of surgery on his eye. So his eye was very delicate. And because he got the zetz, now it became a lot worse. And because of that, they had to go to doctors, and there was lots of work, lots of medical bills. The parents had to take off work to take their kids to the hospital, back and forth. So this is the story, what I said until now. Okay, so now, the defendant, who is the father, we call him the defendant, so he says 3 threads of justification. As we're going to go through the Shiur, we're going to see it's 3, it's 4, it's 5, it's 6, it's 7. It can be broken up into 3 parts. One thing that he's saying is there's a rule. I have to protect my son. There's something called Ovid Inish Dina L'nafshei. Ovid Inish Dina L'nafshei means if there's a case where I know that you owe me money and you didn't pay me, I can do my own din Torah and I can seize the money that you owe me. That's a rule that we had in Baba Kama earlier in the year. A second halacha, this is the halacha that I like to quote all the time, as I'm sure you're all familiar, that there's something called Harav Haraydes Talmidoi. A teacher is allowed to hit his students. And if he hits the students, then it's an act of chinuch, and it's permissible and even commendable. It's something which should be done and should be done more often than it used to be done. And something which is permissible 100%. And B'meila, this is a second argument that the father is saying. In addition to, I'm allowed to do the right thing, I'm a mechanech, and this child is messing with my son. Number three, there's a kind of community takano that we're trying to stop violence in our community, and therefore we had no choice but to slap this kid. And the Rav of the community, who was not the one that hit, the Rav backs up the father. He says, yes, it's good that the father hit the kid. We had to do that because it's getting out of hand, the bullying over here, and we have no choice but to bully the bull. These are what the claims that the father is saying. There's more, as we'll soon see. Yeah.
They use the words before every rule.
I'm sorry?
There's this rule for language.
I'm not reading so much what it says inside. I prepared from the actual Masugya, and then I looked over that it's pretty much, for the most part, accurate. Yep.
He didn't know that Tal had a problem with his eye.
He did not know. We're going to say that's part of the conversation. Now, what do the parents of the plaintiff? The plaintiff is the one that's being teveya. So the plaintiff is saying that, first of all, they want to be paid for the damage of their son and the unreimbursed medical expenses. Yes, Efraim? Very good point. We're going to get to that. Number one, they want to get reimbursed for the actual damages and the medical expenses. Number two, the travel costs to and from the treatments. Number three, indirect damages, whichever things that resulted as after the being hit. Number four, the lost work of hours of the parents that they had to take off work to go take their son to the hospital. Number five, they want payment for emotional distress, agmas nefesh. And what they want very much is they want this father to apologize to their son. Because they're all from Yidden over here, and they're all Bnei Torah, and they all want the Torah to whatever the Torah says to be the bottom line. So they want this father to apologize to their son, because they want their son to realize that according to Torah, this is not the way to go about things, and you have to apologize. You're not supposed to hit, because they're trying to be mechanech their son, not to, which, as I learned the sugi again and again, it's like it keeps like going in my face. Like, you're telling people don't be violent, and then what do you do? You're violent yourself. It's like every parent tells their son, stop screaming, right? And your father yelled at you like that. Stop screaming. Again, what should I stop doing? So you're telling the kids not to do it, and you're being violent. How does this make sense? But that's how parents and adults work. They demand from the students what they don't demand from themselves. Right or wrong, that's the reality. So the parents of the kid that was of the bully, well, they were not violent, so they can have this correct demand. I want my son to know that this is not the way of going about things. So this is basically what they're asking for. So there's 5 major questions that the Beis Din has to answer. The first question, and this is directly the sugi that we're learning now in Perek HaChevel, the beginning of the Perek, does a non-smuchin Beis Din today have the right to be done din in nizikin? Din in nizikin, we're going to talk about it, the 5 nizikin. Yaakov, what are the 5 things that a person has to pay? My goodness. Lashon Kodesh, no. Shh, yeah, buddy. Mayor? So the shaila is, does Bechlal Beis Din today have the right to enforce such kind of payments? Number 2, was the father in the right, was it permitted for him to touch this child? And if so, would that make him a potter? As we said, a teacher can slap a child. And number 3, and this is an interesting argument, the father thought, Ephraim already had that argument. We're going to get to that as we go ahead later. But number 3, he honestly thought he's doing the right thing. The Rav said he's doing the right thing. Do we say Oimer Mutar is? Do we say that when someone says it's permissible, is that a heter to make him pot? Yeah. I'm sorry, I understand your question.
So the first 3 that you said, the reason why I slapped you is to take back. If someone says to you, you'll take back. So the first thing,
I'm not understanding what you're saying. If someone slaps you,
what was the first 3? We had first 3 things of the father's argument was that
before.
Yeah.
Over here. I'm allowed to take the matters into. If this is the correct psak, I don't have to go to a Rav to ask him. Okay. I can do it myself. Huh? But then.
Took back more.
What do you mean took back more?
Now the son has, now the other guy
Oh, fine. For that he was saying, I didn't know about that. We'll see that later. So the third thing is, do we say that since the father thought he's doing the right thing, is it permitted? Number 4, and this is the question, the injury was magnified by a prior eye surgery. So does that make me, so even if I do have to pay for the damage, do I have to pay for the damage that's not connected to me? I didn't know that he went through eye surgery, so maybe that should make me potter from what I did. Number 5, and this is a very cool one, it all happened on Shabbos. We have a rule, Kimle b'derabamine, right? Kimle b'derabamine means, you know what that means? Kimle, what does it mean? You can only get the bigger punishment, not the smaller one. And that rule applies even b'shoigig, meaning if on Shabbos by mistake I burn down your house, I do not have to pay for the damages because burning is an Isur D'Oraisa. So if hitting is if I hit somebody and cause blood to spill from that person, it's an Isur D'Oraisa to spill blood. So it's an Isur D'Oraisa. If it's shoigig, I wasn't trying to be Machal Shabbos. If it's shoigig, so I should be potter anyway. These are the fathers. This is all B'nai Torah. Yes?
Did the father hit the kid? Did the kid bleed from that?
It was internal bleeding, definitely.
Internal.
Yeah. Yeah.
But does it matter?
We're gonna l'chayr or not. It's a Easter Shabbos. Yeah.
Do we know for sure if the kid hitting his cousin's friend or not? Because
Do we know for sure what?
do we know for sure if the kid threatened or hit?
Yeah, threatened. Yeah, the bully admitted that he had threatened the guy, the father's son. Huh?
Did he say that he didn't hit?
Yeah, he says that you see later in the Batei Din. He says he didn't hit him, but the kid says he was hit. But what? Yeah, it makes a difference. I will see later. But he agrees that he threatened. What?
Why did they give him a material and tell them say to your son to do this?
Well, you don't do that. You can't. A kid can't swear and prove anything.
No, give him to the father.
What does he know? He wasn't there. It was all kids.
He asked his son, tell him the truth.
We don't doubt that the son told that to the father, and we don't doubt that the other kid is saying. We know what both kids are saying, but we can't figure that out.
One of them is smart.
Say that, but we can't. There's no way for us to figure that out.
If you want to get something
The children are no. Whatever the kids did, and the other guy says no. There's no way to prove that. We cannot get to the bottom of that. We do not know if he actually hit him or not. We know that they both agree that he threatened to hit him. They don't know what happened. There's no way to go get them. One second. Huh? No, that's not grumble. If I punch you and then something happens. No, Shabbos. If I hit you and you bleed on Shabbos, I just did an Isur D'Oraisa on Shabbos. If it was amazing and for that purpose, and it was in Shabbos we have a rule mekalkel potter, meaning if I cause damage on Shabbos, if I break a building on Shabbos, it's potter. Only if I break in order to fix. So if I'm hitting you to fix my Yitzhahara, I'm calming down, then I can be chayiv. Correct. We're only starting to listen. With lot. We're getting it. Yeah. Stop with the kids, you get the truth. Yeah, that's the solution. You slap like this. I had to know what happened last night. Who was hurting who? I went to Yaakov, I slapped him, and he told me, yeah, I tell you, it was the other guy. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is the argument. Yeah, even when the shoygig, you're still chayiv potter. That's the Gemara says. Even what? Correct. Even if you did it b'shoygig, you're not chayiv misa. We still say you're part of it. We'll see the sugya. These are the 5 arguments of the father. Isn't that a loophole? For sure, it's a loophole. The father wants to not pay. Well, I slapped that kid. I want to pay him right now, so I'm looking for another header. These are all the arguments the business has to come under remits. Okay, so the first sugya, they were both under remits. Huh? You can't make a time. If I hit your son, I have to pay. If I hit a child, I have to pay him back. If he hits me, I don't have to pay him. He doesn't have to pay me. We're not trying to get the bully to pay the kid that he allegedly hit, because we don't know. But the father agrees that he hit that bully. So that's the question. The question is if the father's to pay the bully. Yeah. Correct. And my left after would make a difference anyway. But regardless, because we're going to see as we go along. Listen, we're going to only not cover everything, but whatever we are going to cover is going to hopefully answer most of the questions. Yes, we're going to get to that one at a time. Let's see. I think most questions will be answered, if not all. All right, so the first discussion was, can a Beis Din Bechlal today deal with any kind of din in Nizikin? So we have Parshas Mishpatim, the Torah tells us you have to bring all Mishpatim lifneihem to the Rabbanim, v'loi lifnei hadyotos, not in front of simple people. What does simple people mean? Not in front of people that do not have real smicha. We just spoke about real smicha the other day. So Rabbanim today that do not have real smicha, you cannot deal with them any kind of Mishpatim. Says the Gemara, what? Correct. Which word? Bodily, yeah. Says the Gemara by Mekama that you all learned, that the Gemara says today when any Beis Din implements any kind of psak, we are doing the shlichus of the Beis Din smuchim of Eretz Yisrael. And the Gemara then says, ki avdin and shlichus sayu, when we can do the shlichus, b'milsa de shchicha, v'isbu chisaron kis. It's something which is a common occurrence, things that happen all the time, and there is a financial loss. If it's a common thing, but it doesn't really cause loss of money to the other party, or something which it causes a loss of money, but it's not a common thing, the Beis Din of Chutzlaretz without smicha cannot enforce a psak. Here, Hilkoch says the Gemara, therefore, Adam ba'Adam, if one man hits another man, even though it's something which is a lack of money, loss of money, it's not a common thing. So the Gemara is telling us that people hitting people is not common, which of course, if anybody would spend about 2 hours in yeshiva, he would question that statement of the Gemara. However, this is what the Gemara says. We're going to see later in the Go'onim what the Go'onim have to say about this, because we can all obviously argue, what do you mean? People don't hit people? Unfortunately, it is a reliable thing. But what it comes out from this Gemara is that Beis Din can only make a psak when it's chisaron kis and shchia, only both together. And Adam, but Adam clearly not. So if Adam hits a Adam, usually he has to pay Nazak, Tzar, Ribi, Shabbos, Baishis. At the Gemara at this point, the Beis Din cannot imply any of it. However, we have a Rambam. The Rambam writes, those kids are not? Those kids are not? The kids are not acting like humans. As much as we like to say that halachically it doesn't stand. Halachically, if you're on 2 feet and you're a human being, then you're a human being. Okay, so says the Rambam, all the things that you have to estimate how much the person is valued, which is basically a kind of knas and so on. A dayanim and chutzlaretz cannot enforce. Avol, says the Rambam, sheves veripui goivin. When it comes to lost work, when it comes to medical bills, that we do collect. They're considered chisaron kis. Says the Rambam, the Go'onim paskin that we do enforce to pay Shabbos and Ripei. So if we go back to the original complaint that the parents wanted, they wanted to be reimbursed for medical bills for their time lost at work. That says that Rambam, yes, the Beis Din can force them to pay if all the other factors line up. However, regarding the nezek, tzar, and beishas, the other parts of it, and they asked other things that the agmas nevish that the child have, which you can argue is beishas, and regarding the other detail of the fact that they were what happened in addition to the regular bills, all those things lav daka. But Shabbos or Ripui, the Rambam says you have to pay. One at a time, yeah?
The parents' Shabbos, how do they have to pay?
That's a very good question. The Shabbos would only be for the child, not for the parents. Good point. The shaila is if Shabbos includes other people's loss of work because of what I hit. If I hit you, and because of my hitting you, someone else has to lose work, does that make me pay? Interesting shaila. They did not talk about this. That's what considered Grummy you're saying. Right. Look, that's a very they don't touch upon that in the truth. Interesting observation. 1 second, one at a time. Yeah. There's a discussion. Okay, we'll get to that also. Yeah. But we'll get to that. I mean, probably.
It's not even a case on that. Community made
it's not in writing, and it's not. And we're going to see weiter. We'll talk to him about that.
Can you include parents, Shabbos of parents into Ripa?
He just asked that question, the afraid or not. No, Ripa means the bills. I don't know. I hear it. This is the Rambam. For some reason, they have it only on, it's very small. The Rosh, which deserves an old slide for itself, but it's not. The Rosh and the Tur read the Gemara literally. Adam ba'Adam is always Potter, meaning Adam ba'Adam today.
What's that?
So Adam ba'Adam, according to the Torah and the Rosh, includes Riboy and Shabbos as well, meaning that the Beis Din cannot enforce any of these things. So it's a machlokes Rambam and Rosh. Does a person that hits someone else, can the Beis Din force him to pay Shabbos Riboy? The Rambam says yeah, the Rosh and the Torah say no. Shulchan Aruch, the Mechaber writes, Adam shechavel b'chaverei, ein magmin dayonim she'enam smuchim beretz Yisrael, nezek tzar pgamu boishes v'koifer, aval Shabbos Riboy megabi. But they say that you do collect Shabbos and Riboy. The Mechaber, the Shulchan Aruch, passes like the Rambam. The Rambam, some say Sha'af Riboy v'Shabbos ain't donin. Meaning this is the Torah and the Rosh that you don't collect even Riboy and Shabbos. And then continues the Rambam. I didn't see people that are going to collect this or that. However, there's something else that the Rambam says that people do. We force the hitter to apologize to the person that he hit, and to give him a knas based on what the Beis Din assumes. So here we have something new. We have not the nezek tzar, the five in the parts of Nezikin. We have something else. We are telling the Beis Din they can force the person that hit, not because of the five categories, but to tell me he has to apologize, and we're going to give you a knas if you don't apologize. Or, in other words, this is what's brought down from the Go'onim, that they say, Minik shtei yeshivas, aval pi she'en giving knas. I'm starting from B instead of A because it's more clear to me. But basically what was going on was, as I mentioned before, walk into any yeshiva, spend a few hours, and you're bound to see somebody hitting somebody. So b'meila, it is common. And in Bavel, after the Gemara was finished, and the Gemara officially said that it's not shchiach, people don't hit people. Apparently things are out of hand, and the Go'onim said we can't carry on this way. We can't just say that if you hit someone, there's no payment whatsoever. But the Gemara said you can't. So they found a loophole. The loophole was like this. Beis Din has the right to enforce and make a nido, yachir. So the Beis Din can tell the bully that hit, and they can tell him, because you hit that person, we're putting you on chayrim. We're only going to take off the chayrim if you appease that person. How do you appease that person? You pay him a certain amount, and he forgives you. What happens if I hit somebody, Beis Din says you're on chayrim unless you pay him whatever, I pay $500. I paid him $500, and the guy says, no, I want $1,000. So says the Go'onim and the Rif, the Beis Din decides what's considered normal. The Beis Din thinks 500 is enough, I pay 500. If that person is not Meichel, that's fine. The Beis Din won't enforce the Chayr. So here we have a loophole, which Ramah is alluding to, that even though the Beis Din is not going to collect Shabbos and Ripoy, the Beis Din could force him to pay by using this loophole of a Chayr. One second. A second big nafkamina is that what happens if the person that was hit seized money from the other guy? So two Bachim get into a fight, one guy hits the other guy, really damages him, the guy that was beaten up is too weak, can't do anything, so he goes in the other Bachim's room and he's not around, and he takes away his charger, he takes away his George Foreman, whatever he has, he steals it from him, because you hit me, so I stole it from you. So over here we say, really, you have the Beis Din is not going to force the guy that hit to pay. Well, once you already see something, you can keep it for you. There's an interesting discussion, I don't know if it's brought down. Can the guy that was hit go to Beis Din and say, tell me how much I should be owed, so I should know how much I can seize from that guy? Let the Beis Din make the estimation. Okay, based on how much he hit you, you deserve $500. So I know now that I can try to steal from you or grab from you, seize from you. $500 is a machlokes if the Beis Din mixes in for that or not. Yeah.
The whole point is to get the person to be to forgive the person who has mattered.
The point is that the Beis Din wants to stop violence. So the Beis Din feels that if we're going to say that you have to apologize or pay a knas, and this way we think that it's enough of a deterrent to you, we'll be happy with that. Because if we know that you have to pay 500, so for us we think it's enough of what you to be mechaper on what you did, and even though he wants more, we're not concerned to help him out. We want to make a situation that people aren't hitting, and we think it's enough. So even though he thinks he wants more, we don't care about it. Yeah. He says he's going to go into Chayrim. And he doesn't listen to the Beis Din. That's what, unfortunately, that's a part of the reality of life also. And the Beis Din tells people what they don't listen, they don't hate him. Yeah, that happens. No, the person that was hit will probably be happy that that person now that bully can't become at the shul, can't be part of the minyan. No one can be in his aldamas. You would rather have the money, but you feel that the Beis Din is taking your side. But fine, but you feel that the Beis Din is stepping in for you, and that person will be in Chayrim. Will be very hard for him. Life is very difficult for a person that's in Chayrim. For a Frumiyid, if he's a Frumiyid. Yeah. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes, if we get to it. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes, if we get to it. Yeah? Yes. If you open up the Jewish Press, in the back of the Jewish Press, there's a list of people that are on Chayrim, so to know where they come from, where they live. If they move to your community, make sure to keep them in Chayrim. They're specifically for Gittin, people that don't want to give their wives a get when they want to get, but it could be for other things also. Okay, so the defendant tries to open up 5 doors. This is the AI way of saying 5 hatadim that he wants to share with himself. He wants to say kind of self-defense. We said before, Ovid Inish Dina L'nafshei. He wants to say another thing. It was the heat of the moment. Meaning, there's a tour we're going to soon see. If I hit you because I'm reacting to you, because you made me mad and that's why I reacted to you, there's a room to be pater. Number 3, chinuch, the most important one of all. Number 4, stopping a sin. I'm trying to stop the violence. So therefore, I'm allowed to do this. Number 5, I'm a community authority. I'm backed by the Kehillah. Yeah. For the future, when people know that in this community, if you bully somebody, you'll be busted in your nose, and people know in this community I'm not going to bully anybody. What? It's slowly starting to work. Yes, Zichay, no? Yeah.
Was there like a what's it called? Was that Jewish lawyers?
Ovid Din, yeah, Tatayim Rabbani. Word of Tatayim Rabbanim over here. Apparently, the parents of the bully went to Talmud Chacham, and the Talmud Chacham said, "I don't believe that a Rav can back this." Because the person, the father that hit, his Rav said it's fine. It's, after the fact, he said it's a good thing. So his Rav supported him. And the father of the bully, he went to Talmud Chacham and he told him, I don't believe how anyone can say this is permitted. And so they both had some kind of arguments. But the Beis Din is the one that's going through everything.
Well, it looks like all those arguments were made by someone trying to defend the side, no?
Huh?
Were all those stuff just made inside our Beis Din, or someone was trying to defend someone's side and made those fights?
No, the Beis Din, the father brought up these arguments. I don't know if he's a Talmud Chacham. It could be he's a shtickle mechanech. He's a shtickle Rosh Yeshiva. Could be on his own if I know this. Again, everything is here. All the prati.
Does he usually say there were lawyers?
I didn't see if all the ones that I saw, they didn't say if there was or wasn't. So I don't know. Okay, regarding is it different how you hit your Talmud? Yeah, could be. You pinch him, right? If you pinch your Talmud, then maybe it's different. Especially what kind of pinches, the good pinches. Okay, regarding the first argument of Ovid Inish Dina L'nafshei, again, it's based on the Gemara, where the Gemara says a person is allowed to say machlekes Rav Rav Nachman. So the Shulchan Aruch says, Yochel Adam Lases Din La'atzmai. If I know that you owe me money, you owe me something. Oh, here we go. Even a half hour, we can't go back. So you can do a Din La'atzmai, and then the Shulchan Aruch says, so you owe me money. So I go into your room, let's say I see you have a tool set, right? You have a tool set worth $80. What's it called again? I fix it. You have a tool set $80. And you caused me damage, you hurt me, and now you owe me $80. So I come into your room and I take away your tool set. And you see me. So you start stopping me. Says the Shulchan Aruch, I can hit you also now. Because I'm doing the right din. I'm taking away the money that you owe me. And you're trying to stop me. I can even hit you in order to fulfill the din. Another halacha. 2 people hitting each other. The first guy hit, the second guy is potter. I'm allowed to hit you to save myself. So we see there's a heter to hitting someone to save yourself, to implement the halacha. Yeah? One second. So this is the concept of Ovid Inish Dina L'nafshei. So the reason why this is not a good heter is because this only applies at the moment. You see in bold happening now. It's only at the time that I'm hitting you, that's when you have the right to hit me to stop me from hitting you. If I'm taking away your toolkit that you owe me, and then you try stopping me, at the moment I can hit. The whole heter of Ovid Inish Dina L'nafshei is only at the moment. Therefore, as you see at the bottom, door 1 is closed. This is not a heter because the parameters of Ovid Inish Dina L'nafshei do not allow to come by a few hours later and say, oh, I'm now enforcing the din. At this point, it's too late. Answer your question. Number 2, what about the fact that it was Haya Kiyecham Levava? Is a Gemara which also says, a brother in Halacha, that if I embarrass somebody because he hurt me, whatever, and I was all heated in the moment, I'm potter Haya Kiyecham Levava. So this heter of because I was in the moment, I was all angry, and that's why I reacted, it's in Halacha brought down only regarding boishes. Now that's why I'm potter from boishes. And this doesn't help us over here because side by side, boishes is off the table. Because according to the Mechaber, the Beis Din can only enforce Ripoy and Shabbos, and even according to the Ramah, he's making a general chayrim, nothing to do with boishes specifically. So b'meila, even if you want to say that you were still all mad, which you can easily say a father can remain angry for 4 or 5 hours after he heard his son was beaten up, but still that's not going to help you when it comes to the other nizik. Regarding the fact that what about chinuch? So here, as many of you have already said, the whole heter is the Gemara in Makkas, the Mishnah Makkas says, ha'ov hamakes b'noi, a father hitting his own son, or harav areides talmidoi, a teacher hitting his own student. However, anybody else has no right. The Beis Din has a right because the Beis Din is responsible for everybody, but that's only the Beis Din. So b'meila, what? So first of all, it wasn't clearly in the community. And second of all, it has to be someone that's appointed by the community, representative of the Beis Din, Kivyachol, that is now enforcing this psak. In this case, the father didn't go to the Rav Lechatchila and said, can I go with the backing of the official psak of Beis Din? It's an unwritten rule. It's kind of people in the mikvah are talking about it because it's getting out of hand. We got to do something. Someone has to do something. And that's how it happened. It wasn't an official appointment. You are the guy in charge to go and beat up all the bullies. That wasn't how it was. So the mainly, you're just a private individual. You're not, so yeah, you are a Rav, you are a Mechanech, but just because you're a teacher does not give you the right to go around beating up people. Yaakov, you agree or disagree? You disagree, of course. If you're a teacher, you have the right to go around beating up people, if they're your students. So it's kedai to go teach everybody, this way they're your students, and you can beat everybody up. No. But that's another reason why they said that another door, so to speak, that's closed. You cannot use this heter of being a deyurim. Number 4, afrushim yisura. I'm trying to get this bully to stop doing an aveda. So here, it seemingly might be a permissible, because the Trumas Hadeshin says only Mishu Tachas Yod Shalom V'Roya B'Shoy Sedvar Aveda. Someone that you're responsible for. Again, you're a father, teacher, Beis Din, you can stop them. But the Truma, the Yam Shoshlem, the Marshal has a huge heter. The Yam Shoshlem says Kol Bar Yisrael Yachol Haketz Chaveda Gedei La'Afrushim Yisura. Every Jew can hit another Jew to stop him from doing an aveda. However, only if you're a kosher Jew. That's what the Marshal comes. The Igros Moshe, the Moshe finally says, stop. Why would you do that? The Moshe says, no. Listen, the Marshal is talking about different cases. There's no one today that can take matters into his own hands and go around beating people up. No one today is allowed to come and say, oh, I see that you're doing an aveda, I can beat you up. The only way you can do that is if you have yidiyah berura de'edid. Oh, so this is where the question was asked earlier, what happened with those children. So, says Rav Moshe, and this is the psak that goes l'maisa, if you have Aiden that saw this child hitting another child, and now you want to stop him, it's at a frushim yisur, and now you have Aiden. But stop us, like for you to see, oh, this guy's misbehaving, my son told me he hit him, and for to use that as, oh, I have to beat up this kid to stop him from doing Avedis, Rav Moshe says, this is not okay. Yeah.
Are the other children on the playground considered Aiden?
No. Aiden are only over bar mitzvah. And I wonder what... In the Beis Din, they did not discuss what other kids said. Because, like I said, the whole story, what actually happened was vague. I only picked up these details from reading all the whole tshuva, and that's when you end up seeing what ended up happening. So there's more factors that were not shared, which the Beis Din felt were not relevant to share. Okay, so the next question was, what about the fact that he thought he was permitted? Is Aymer Mutar a permission? So basically, the Mishnah, the Psak Gemara, the Machlekes Abaye and Rava says, Aymer Mutar Koriv Lemezid. Someone that thinks something is permissible is basically considered mazid, so therefore this is not a heter at all. Just because you thought you're allowed to beat up this kid does not give you the permission to do so. The two final twists. What about the fact that the eye was already a pre-existing condition? So for that we have a rule. What this basically means is the opposite. That when we estimate how somebody hit somebody else and the damage, we estimate his current situation. So because what it means like this: if the person was completely healthy and I gave him a regular Zetz, and for some odd reason that's not explainable, he suddenly had a lot more pain and damage, then we say, okay, you're potter. But over here, the factors because he had a pre-existing surgery, now it makes sense that such a slap would cause such a amount of damage. It makes sense and you should be paid. So that argument goes against it. What about Shabbos? So about Shabbos, they bring a dogol mirvava. The dogol mirvava says that when do we say you're potter? But if you hit on Shabbos, only if it was nothing that you had no intention, you had in mind to do an Aveda for Shabbos. Even though, meaning you didn't know it was Shabbos. We had in mind. And here the guy said, I didn't want to do an Aveda on Shabbos. I didn't want to cause him bleeding. So he didn't have an intention to do an Aveda on Shabbos. So the dogol mirvava says, therefore he's definitely chayav b'tashlum. So in short, all the doors that were tested, all the Batei Din were basically closed. There is no heter. He cannot say Ovid Inish Dina L'nafshei or kiyechem levavi, because that only is in the moment. He's not the father. He's not the teacher. He's just a random community person. Again, also he has no rights to stop him because he's not appointed over here, and he has no Adam for it. And Muta is considered mazid, and the pre-existing condition just adds to how we estimate it. And Shabbos, we said, is not a heter. What did the Beis Din end up paskening? They ended up paskening that, first of all, the father has no permission to do what he did. What he did was completely wrong. There's no heter whatsoever. And technically, according to Shulchan Aruch, he should be able to pay. The Chaber we can make him pay deeply on Shabbos. What they did say is that they have to apologize to each other. Meaning that the bully has to apologize to the child, and the father of the child has to apologize to the bully. And then they said, we're giving you 30 days to discuss with each other, based on what we're saying now, to come to an agreement, and you guys should discuss with each other what you think the payment should be. If after 30 days you don't have a pshat, you don't have a psak, then come back to us and we'll discuss it. There isn't a hemshech of what ended up happening, so I don't know if they ended up coming to agreement on themselves, or they came back. The bottom line, what we learn from this, a number of things, is that only teachers can hit their students. I hope you guys understand that's the main message of this class. And only in the moment, and if you're in the moment, you are allowed to hit back, and you're potter from that. And a non-smuchim beitin is not toothless. They could have the rights. An apology is part of the psak. You do have to apologize. The Beis Din enforces that.